you guys to Diamond Quality. Here we talk about how to not fold under the pressure of life and turn into that gem you're truly meant to be, because whether you like it or not, you are a fucking crystal, okay? Alrighty. Let's get into it. Disclaimer, I am eating because I did not eat at all yesterday, okay? Single parent problems, all right? Yesterday was an emotional day for me, court day, but fuck all that bullshit, because it was bullshit. And we're going to get to the real shit, what we supposed to be talking about here, okay? So, our thoughts and how important our thoughts are. Have we ever thought about the people that committed suicide and why they shoot themselves in the fucking head? Because if you're killing yourself, right? You can shoot yourself in the heart. Ain't that how we survive our heart? You take our heart out of our bodies, that's a done deal. Why they don't shoot themselves in the heart? You know, they could do the mouth too, but in our reality, we know our heart is how we survive. So why the head? Our fucking thoughts, our thoughts. Are you going to be a slave to your thought in your mind, or are you going to be an ally with it? Because we have full control over how we think, what we choose to think about, and how we go about our thinking process, right? So what is our natural defect setting of thinking? And this is when you ain't paying attention to how you're thinking. Something happens and you just naturally think. And I will say from experience, it tends to be on the side of the worst of what can happen. We always think about the ultimate worst of the possibilities of what can happen, right? Which is fine, because we want to be prepared if we are dealing with certain beings that we know lie, manipulate, cheat, steal, just deceitful people, right? So we don't want to be naive to the bullshit, because again, every time you approach a situation, approach it as the person you are, having an open heart and having compassion for these people. Because I'm telling you, when you get around these beings, that compassion is going to go out the fucking window. That's true. It's just true. Like, I lived it. I'm doing it. You get what I'm saying? The same sentence that I'm saying, I feel for these people because they are creating their own suffering, it still affects the people that are in their life that's creating that suffering. Because if that person is creating their own suffering and you are in their world, a part of their life, that suffering overflows into your life. And that's when it becomes unfair and you just feel like, what the fuck is going on here? And it's bullshit. But guess what? They're not thinking their fucking selves. Like, they're not thinking, because they're pointing the finger. They're choosing to say someone else is causing their pain and suffering, and someone else is the reason why they do what they did, right? And when people commit suicide, it's because they feel so alone. It's because they feel literally like they don't belong on this earth. They're misunderstood. They don't have anyone to talk to. They don't have any support. And why is that? Because of the fucking people around them. The people around them that's telling them these fucked up things, that they're not loved, that they're a fucked up person, that they're shitty. You know what I'm saying? Even when I don't care for a person, which I don't care for a lot of fucking people, I'm not no more. This is something I had to grow and evolve from. I'm not no more just telling you about yourself and telling you the worst qualities of yourself, because best believe, I said beforehand in other videos, we are our own worst critics. We're already telling it to ourselves. That's why we fall into the belief of whatever is being said to us, because we are already saying it to ourselves. That's your fucking thoughts, right? How are you talking to yourself? How are you loving on yourself? How are you showing yourself unconditional love? Because if you have a loving way of talking to yourself, you will shut that shit down. When someone comes to you and starts saying shit that you know is not true, that's not you, you will shut it down, because you know that you love yourself. And when you love yourself, you don't go outwards to find that love. And when we control how we think and how we talk to ourselves, then we can manage these thoughts that come in our head that don't support who we know that we are. Because all they're trying to do is, by telling you fucked up shit, or by you telling yourself fucked up shit, what's the benefit of that? How are you improving as a person? How are you growing how are you growing to be the person that you want to be, rather than believing in what someone is trying to make you to be? Like, that's all it is. People are trying to take your power away and make you into something that you're not. And by you giving your power away, you lose all control, and these thoughts just go and fluster and just take over your emotions, take over your energy wheels, take over your mind. And then that's when people fucking lose it. Why is it suicide? Just heard the other day, a little girl killed herself from bullying. From fucking bullying. It starts early on with kids in school. This is what I'm trying to get out. Our people, how we are to each other, how we are to our loved ones. We are showing our kids how to treat each other and our loved ones. And if you're showing them that, they're picking it up as programs, they're using it, and they're taking it to school. And they're treating other people like that. As grown adults, treating other grown adults or kids or teenagers, whoever, in ways that you shouldn't be treating them. Saying shit that's not true. Just saying shit to hurt them because you are hurt, instead of trying to heal yourself, right? Because what's the whole reason of even saying something fucked up to someone else, even though you know it's true? You're trying to hurt them. You're trying to hurt them. Because you know the truth. They know it too. They may not want to admit it, but you know the truth. And even if they don't admit it, that's okay, because you know your truth. But what is the purpose of saying things to hurt other people? There's no purpose behind it. That person that's saying it is just hurt, right? And they're just trying to misery love company. They're just trying to pass off their hurt. Why the fuck is kids committing suicide? They ain't even reached adult life yet, okay? This is supposed to be the fun time of life. This is where they just have no worries. They supposed to just live life, play, and have fun, right? But our kids in our generation, our culture, are being exposed to violence and guns and suicide and killing and getting beat. Why the fuck is that? Why is that? The other races, can they say that? Yeah, some of them can, because guess what? They're probably minorities like us, living in our community, growing up how we're growing up. But can we make our community like the other communities? Can we make it how everyone wants to come around? We don't want to, okay, like just in the city. One side of the city, trenches. The other side, big, great houses. You can step over to the next block and be in sunshine. What the fuck is that? Why? Why? So if we can make and take our power back and create more peace and happiness in the trenches, baby, in the fucking trenches. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, people getting lost in the sauce. You get what I'm saying? Like, getting lost in the sauce. Because all I'm trying to get to the point of take accountability of the part that we play, of how we treat other people when other people are going through shit, because everyone is going through something. It is so perfectly fine for everyone to be self-centered. We are supposed to be self-centered because that's how we create in our lives. You can't create in your lives if you're so focused about the next person or the next thing. You're supposed to be focused on you, your soul's purpose, and what you're supposed to do. All right. So if you are supposed to be self-centered, why, when it comes to taking accountability, it ain't about you no more? It's about the person that did something to you. Well, does that make sense? You did it. You act out. You said it. No one forced you to say fuck off to that person. No one told you to hit that person. No one told you to pull a fucking gun out and point it at a person. Right? If anyone does anything that's hurtful, it's out of anger. It's out of feeling something personal within that triggers something. And you done gave your power away. That quick and easy. How do you take your power back? Stop acting out of emotions. How do we stop hurting other people? Stop saying shit to hurt other people. Why are kids commit suicide. And it's like I don't get it as an adult, but I do get it because it's like when you start going through life. I got singers, you know what I'm saying? They are singers, they are gymnastics, boxers, swimmers, like they love to do it all, okay? And singing and acting is for sure one of them. Don't he sound great, y'all? But seriously, like, has anyone really sat down and understood why people commit suicide? In all reality, you're really just mad as fuck that that person took themselves away from you and the other loved ones that's still here. We're upset that we can't talk to that person no more. We can't see that person no more. We can't say no. Why did you do that? I am here for you. I do love you. I do understand that you're hurting, you're going through something, and I'm here to support you and walk with you through that situation. This is where it comes, loving people unconditionally, because when they create their own suffering, they don't see the suffering that they're creating, and then they just think that it's just the life that they were meant to live, and they choose not to live that life no more, which is understandable, because when you have a life that you are not happy with, that you are completely confused about, how I told y'all when I set up a blueprint of having kids, and I waited to have kids, and I wanted everything to be family oriented and loving dovey, and let's work together to raise this beautiful family. Blueprint out the window. It's like somebody took that bitch and lit it on fire. It was my higher self. Bitch, don't do that. Don't do that. Not with them beans. And I was ignoring the red flags because our higher self sends us red flags. Don't do that. All right? We choose to not be conscious and mindful of the guidance that ourselves is trying to give ourselves. Pay attention. Because if we look at our lives, we go through everything for a reason. We're exposed to shit for a reason. And it's to help us avoid those things as we get older. I didn't put it together with talking to you guys until talking to you guys that me experiencing my mother killing her boyfriend in front of me and not knowing what to do in that situation, I just took it as that was just something I was exposed to, and I just kept going. Because that's what we're good at. We're just good at constantly keep moving and keep going. And I did that. And oddly enough, I ended up getting a job in the medical field that dealt with nothing but blood, removing skin cancer, right? And when they removed it on the head, it was fucking squirts. It was blood squirting. Quit that job. Long behold, son bust his head. And who had the natural tools to do that? Like, I didn't know from experiencing that I would have got enjoyment out of removing skin cancer and then end up doing that job in real time to save my son's head from bleeding out. So when we accept our lives and stop judging our lives and stop, not accepting what was just given to us. Because how our lives is, like, it was set up like that for a reason, and trying to be mad at the setup is not going to help the setup, pretty much. Like, that's when it comes to being grateful for what we already have, finding happiness in these right now moments, and that changes your way of thinking. When you are able to sit down and be happy in a situation that you unconsciously set up for yourself, that's loving yourself unconditionally. That's loving yourself when you wasn't even paying attention to yourself. Like, and when you love yourself unconditionally, you don't need no love from the outside, because you're getting it all from yourself. And when you get it all from yourself, you don't allow these thoughts to come in and be like, you a fucked up person. You shouldn't have did that. Why did you do that? You need to do this. And it's telling you to keep doing what you were already doing, which is not making nothing better, and push you more to that point of having more negative thoughts. So when you catch yourself in this beating yourself up, shaming yourself, guilting yourself, because we are so good at guilting ourselves. We are supposed to make mistakes, right? And a lot of people think, okay, you make mistakes. This person beat me up from this mistake. They won't let it go. They won't drop it. They won't drop it. Yeah, they may not, because you're still that person that made that mistake and you're making the same mistake. How can anyone drop something when you're still choosing to be that same person that you chose to be when you did it then? It doesn't make sense. So if you want to fix your wrongs, we take accountability. If you want to change how you think, stop justifying the bullshit. Stop justifying why you do certain things. Why someone else made you act out a certain way. Where's accountability that person, that you trying to hold that person accountable for why you doing certain stuff? That don't make no sense. Did that person make you do that? In your heart, that's for sure. You're saying, yes, they did. Yes, they did. And I bet they did. Because guess what? You done handed them your power. You done handed it over to them. You want to make me do something? Say this. You want to make me do something? Say that. And that's why I love talking to you guys. Because, again, you know, it was so hurtful talking about my story beforehand. Because I am trying to bring awareness to suicide and how we move about life and how we treat people and how we can become more conscious to love on each other, change our ways, and stop this ego death that we're doing to each other, because we're doing it to each other. All right. Like, it would feel so much better if someone else came in the picture and was like, just killing us all. You know what I'm saying? From another fucking country. But we're doing it to our own people. There's no excuse behind that. There's no validation behind that. There's no love behind that. Take yourself out of the situation and create these healthy boundaries where these people are not pushing you in these situations or having you to have these thoughts, you know, because when suicide is done, they're done. They are so done with themselves and the people in their lives. Do you know how alone someone feels to actually take their selves physically off this earth? That is another low. If you experienced it, you know how it feels. And it's validating at that time because you don't have anyone to talk to. You don't have an outlet to express yourself. You feel so misunderstood. And who wants to feel misunderstood on this earth? We are all uniquely fucking different for a reason. And if we start accepting each other, for who we are, nobody will be wanting to take themselves off this earth due to feeling misunderstood. Like, sometimes I can tone him out and I don't hear him, but then it's like, oh, she ain't listening. Let me get a little louder. He sounds so good, though. So if we don't make conscious decisions about what and how we think about things, then we are choosing to be pissed and miserable in life. If you don't consciously take your mind back, if you don't mindfully not let someone else piss you off or get you mad. And I'm telling y'all, it is so easier said than fucking done, okay? Not joking. My whole day yesterday was emotionally draining. Because again, beings love to bring up my father. That has nothing to do with the situation. Or my mother. That has nothing to do with the situation. Like, the situation is about our kids. You know, what I'm doing here right now is about our kids. We're grown adults. We have full choice in how we move, how we act, what we say, what we do. We are grown fucking adults, conscious beings. We are conscious beings. But are we being mindful to choose to be conscious of how we act and what we do and how we move? Are we? It's about the kids. Not about your grown-ass fucking parent that already lived their life and chose to do what they did. It ain't about the grown asses. You get what I'm saying? It's about showing them an example. It's about being an example. That's what we're trying to do. Show the generations before us, this is how we move. This is how we do. I get that your time was hard and rough and you had to struggle. I get that. I understand that. And I'm sorry you had to go through that. I feel for you. But we don't treat each other like that. We don't talk to each other like that. We don't put our hands on each other like that. And we certainly don't pull our fucking guns on each other when we get triggered. But that's what was done to them. That's what they're doing to us. And that's what these beings are trying to bring down and put into our kids. That's programming that I don't want my kid to have. That's programming that none of our fucking kids should have. Because why is a kid, I believe she was 11-year-old, committing suicide? She ain't got a bill to pay. You know, when we're kids, we're like, I can't wait to grow up. I can't wait to get out this house. I can't wait to get outside. Yeah, it really do feel that way. And it feels that way because we had a traumatic childhood. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, why are you trying to rush the fun part? The fun part is being a child. That should be the fun part. But we're running away from it. We're trying to take control of our lives back because as a kid, our parents didn't give us that good setup and we're not happy. We're not fully happy. So we believe, okay, if I hurry up and grow up, I can start creating my own happiness, which is true. You can, but you're not mindful enough to know that now you're creating a reality that was programmed into you. You're rushing to grow up so you can use those programs that was put into you. But that's good. Because when you do that and you see like, oh, fuck, I'm recreating what was done before me, how do I start creating that? Look at your cards. Look at the part that you're playing, right? Because you are creating your own reality. And if you look at the cards that you are playing, okay, see, I keep doing that and I keep getting this result. I need to stop doing that. And the universe going to give it to you. You don't want to do it? Are you sure? Let's see. I'm going to give you another opportunity to not choose that choice. It's all a choice. It's all an option. But what I'm trying to say is we all have kids. We all want kids because we all want love. We all deserve love. And that's the main reason I wanted to have my kids. At that point in my life, I wasn't getting it in no relationships. Not how I wanted it, but I wasn't also giving it to myself. And so I'm like, give me a child. I take a child because if I bring a child here, I know that child love me unconditionally. I love that child unconditionally. And it's fucking true. It's true. Your kids love you unconditionally and you should love them unconditionally. But when they get here, you start seeing those programs that were passed down. And when those programs you start seeing, and if you start doing it to your kids or exposing your kids to it, all right, what do you think gonna happen? If you expose your child to guns, all right, what you think they gonna start doing? They get pissed. What do you think gonna happen? Same fucking shit, right? So, if we want to create a different reality, let me not do what was done to me. And let me not believe that that was okay. Just because it was done to me and I love my people unconditionally because I love them, don't mean that I agree with what was done to me. You can love someone and not agree with their behaviors. That's called accountability, baby. That's called making a change, baby. That's called boundaries with conditions, okay? I love you so fucking much that I'm not going to let you do that to me because I still want to love you. That's how I look at it. I still want to love you, so I'm going to create some healthy fucking boundaries so I can continue loving you from a distance. You know what I'm saying? How hard is that? It's not hard. That is leading by example, too, for your kids. Okay, just teaching your kids. That's family. We love them. But you don't let nobody treat you like that. You don't let nobody do that to you. And if they do that to you, you separate yourself. You love them from a distance. Because if you let somebody do that to you and then you chose to go back like ain't nothing happened, what do you think gonna happen next time? The same thing. It's all repetitive. It's all a cycle. That's how we can learn people's behaviors. Creatures of habit. All right? So, it's about being conscious enough to be mindful of how we are talking to each other, how we are treating each other, because we don't know what the next person is going through or thinking, right? That day you can meet somebody and they already on the verge of, I'm ready to go. I don't want to do this. And then they meet someone that comes in their life and that can either lift them up, give them the hope that they need to not let that day be the last day that everyone sees them. Give them that light in the tunnel of, it is a hard moment. It's hard as fuck and it don't feel good right now. But it won't feel that way forever. Like once you get past those struggles and those hard moments, it does become to get lighter. It doesn't feel as heavy. It doesn't feel so weighted down of, I shouldn't be here no more. I have no purpose here. Because when they're really leaving it, they don't have no purpose. They don't see the benefit. And we all have a purpose to each other. Let's just love each other. Let's just be there for each other. Let's love each other. And let's create healing. All right? No more hurt people, hurt people. How about heal people, heal people? Okay? I love you guys. Thanks for tapping in, tuning in. Like, subscribe, share, and stay away from those beings that are not making you into the person that you truly want to be. Love you guys.